How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 24, known as Twisted Love. And one of the things that I want you to do, express your love for the channel. I hate to even say love because that's such a strong expression, but don't get it twisted. I still need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, be notified of more videos just like this, and don't forget to share the video. Like how I got the title in there? Yeah. Oh boy. Last week's episode was very enjoyable. I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5 because there was so much potential in there. And this week's episode is just it's not there, man. I'm I'm kind of disappointed because even with the premise that they went with, it's so weird because sometimes you, not even just this show, but I'm talking about this show. You have shows that say, well, some stuff is implied, so you can get it, right? And then some stuff is like, we gotta tell you. And we get a big yandere plot, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't just come right out and say it, but they left it implied. Pardon me, somewhat implied. So, what am I talking about? Well, our episode starts off where this guy named Yuto is walking. He's about to part ways with a friend named Kyohei. Kyohei goes down the tunnel and he gets grabbed. Now, funny thing about this episode is I am pretty darn sure I can give you the review and not have to look at this. That's how simple this episode is. But there's certain parts that I want to get because it's important. Where am I at here? So his friend gets grabbed by a bunch of vines, and there's this poison, this little needle there with a little purple drip on it, and a voice says 10 minutes. It drips on the dude's tongue. He's jostling and moving, and his arm turns into a bunch of vines. And Yuto comes down, sees him just in time, and goes, "Oh no!" Meanwhile, after our intro and all that good stuff, um, and we get the title of the episode. There's this robot that is watching this guy. I guess it's a family robot. His dad, I'm guessing his dad, not a botanist, but owns a flower shop that takes care of flowers. Maybe he's a botanist. Who knows, right? No official title here. But Yuto's helping out, and this robot's just watching him. Just watching him all creepy. Like, you already know where it's going, right? If you're, over the age of 10, you've seen enough shows, not just animes, you've seen enough shows, you know where it's going, right? And it show's very simple. Like, Digimon Ghost Game is pretty simple at times to the point where it's like, okay, you know what's going on. And now we have Yuto, who has brought a bunch of flowers to a customer. He goes down, he goes, I left the fertilizer. Goes back up, this woman's leg has transformed into a bunch of vines, and that same vine we saw at the end slithers out of there, right? It's too bad this thing doesn't pick up white and light blue very well. Anyway, Yuto now, he's walking, and again we see those little robot eyes. We see him talking to another classmate. I think her name is Kiyome, and she's walking her dog. He walks away. Then a moment later, she's writhing in pain because her arm is now vines, and the dog is barking. A lot of people are looking. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, oh man, 3 people, the customer, my 2 friends, what's going on? So then he pulls up his phone because he remembered something. He sees Lee Rurun, Ruli's, what's it called? Phenomena, spooky blog helper thing. But when he looks on the picture, he sees Hero in the background. He can identify Hero from the back of his head. There are moments where characters in this show are so smart. And then there are times when characters are just so dumb. I'll let you decide which one this is. So, he talks to Hero. He tells him, yeah, hey, this is you on this, right? Do you know Libra Run? He's like, I guess. And I'm like, bro, are you saying that you guess because you don't know what type of situation this is? Or are you saying you guess just to be a jerk? Or I don't get him sometimes. I'm waiting for his dark side to come out, for him to stop being so weirdly always helpful, doesn't say no, and then weirdly aloof. If this were a better show, by episode 24, which is what this is, we would have dealt with Hero always saying yes. And it would have been like, man, you got to work through that. And then he would have said yes to a villain to the point where he's going, you know what? No, I cannot take this anymore. And I just came up with that, like that. I'm just, man, I'm just disappointed because last week's episode was so good. Anyway, dude asked him about his dad because he said, you know, your dad hasn't been around, and Yuto kind of dances around, gives him an answer. That part doesn't matter. Yuto leaves. Um, pardon me. So Hero is on his phone. You know, he calls Ruli, and those same vines are behind him now. Pardon me. And I'm guessing he's still in the dorms. I guess dude came visit him at the dorms, right? Kiyoshiro is playing a fighting game, but no, I think he's watching anime, right? And he's watching Gamamon, and he's like, man, Anamanawana-kun has not been back in a minute. I've seen this show so many times, I know how to say his last name. Wow. And he's questioning it. He's like, Gamamon, you just don't even hear me. So all of a sudden, he's like, grab Hero. Did I mention that with the first person, they forces open the guy's mouth to put the poison on it, so it's forcing open his mouth. You can instantly break someone's jaw, or whatever. And the voice goes 1 hour. Gamamon looks up. Hero's in trouble. Dashes off. Both Gamamon and Kiyoshiro get there in the nick of time. The vines let him go. Slithers away. And of course, crybaby Kiyoshiro's like, what have you gotten us into this time? I don't want a coon. Shut up. Please. I get that your main trait is to be the freaking, I don't even want to say Shaggy of the group. Yeah, he is kind of the Shaggy in this 3-person Japanese Scooby Doo. Like, zoinks! Well, I'm super smart, but I'm super scared at the same time. I just happen to know a little bit of everything. I'm 15 and I've gone to college and I've graduated and I just want to live out an anime-esque life. But hey, zoinks, Scoob! Anyway, Hero rightfully says, we cannot leave this one alone. They get Ruli to meet up with Plant Boy at Plant Boy's house. You know, he's like, oh, she's cute, and there's this robot that's going around, and this stupid robot goes around. His name is GW. Now, let's point out, and let's talk about Yandere Bot, because this is not really a spoiler. You guys are not stupid. My viewers are not dumb. If you've seen this episode, if you are listening to my words, you know where this is going, right? Stupid thing number 3 that I'm going to bring up right here. So, the Digimon are all with them, obviously. And, you know, you're just like, oh, so these are AI holograms. You guys will probably get along after he calls Really cute, right? He gets along, he says, you guys get along with GW1. As this little robot comes up and Gamon tries to talk to it, this thing turns around and ignores him. Yandere bot. He's like, oh, I guess it doesn't do well with whatever. Kirishiro, they're all walking around, looking around the place, trying to protect this guy, because that's, you know, Ruli's like, yeah, you know, Lila Run team, we're going to protect him, we're going to do our jobs, guys, and, you know, that's her stick for the episode, right? And Kirishiro's like, you know, so what's the deal with that robot? It's pretty old model. He's like, yeah, GW's been around ever since I was little, and I believe, hold on, man, I didn't even take tons of notes. Deuce has been around, and recently it told them to call it GW1, which means Go Well Number 1. Number 1. That makes no sense. Like the Go Well, like what the, that feels like a fragmented sentence. Even Kirishiro's like, Go Well, okay? And how do you tell that's not how robots work? Are you not like freaked out that the robot has become sentient and tells you what to call it? Now, granted, I'm the same guy that's like, hey, if Digimon were real, I would love to be a Digimon tamer and have my own Digimon pal, a thing that can think for its own. But, you know, we work together, we have a bond, we beat bad things, we help the world out. Yeah, that's literally kind of living with a living AI. But but if this remote told me to call it Jeff, I would be freaking out right now. How are you not freaking out about that? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But anyway, so Yuta, the plant nerd, because I'm gonna call him that, has a semi bowl cut plant nerd guy. Goes, well, not a lot of my friends are interested in gardening like I am, so didn't really have a lot of people to talk to. But I talked to GW, and Kirishiro goes, well, you know what? Maybe I'll start looking into gardening, right? Because this guy was talking to his plants, and of course, Kirishiro's so smart he read an article about how it's supposed to help the plants grow, right? I mean, I've also read that same article, but it's kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of being too hard on Kirishiro because of the crybaby thing, but it's okay. So after this, when this is going on, those robot eyes are just looking at Kirishiro, just looking at him as he's saying he's going to get into gardening. What happens next? Well, when Kirishiro's by himself, would you guess it? The vines get him. Oh man! And then it pries open his mouth and it's about to go. It goes 15 minutes. You guys are picking up what's going on, right? Now, before it pries open his mouth, he's already screamed. Everyone comes running. The thing backflips away and turns Digimon invisible. And Jellymon is being a god awful B word because not just in the last episode, but in this episode, again, she has reverted back to that annoying state where she's blaming him, going, what did you do? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I guess that's kind of what you give, you get what you give, because he did kind of blame Hero, didn't he? So, Hero had found a little spike thing at the crime scene. And so Ruli's like, yeah, we definitely cannot leave Yuto alone. We're gonna go ahead and Hero steals her thunder, says we'll camp out tonight. So they're gonna camp at his place. His dad is cool with it. He's a responsible adult. He does all the grilling. Yuto does make some chocolate marshmallows for Grandma to eat. He goes, wait a minute, the hologram made it? And Hero's like, yeah, it's this brand new model. Hold on, guys, can we just put a pause in it? Why can't you just tell the dude about Digimon? Obviously, He noticed earlier when he told Hero it seemed like kind of like a hologram thing was happening to the people, but it was real and was hurting them. He talks to robots. You can tell him about this digital life form that is sentient from another world that is parallel to ours, or maybe it's on the internet. I don't know how they're handling it in this Digimon universe. Digimon is a multiverse confirmed by Cross Wars Hunters Who Left Through Time. In case you didn't know, is technically a multiverse. Not everything runs linear. It is a weird flippy dippy spiral. I think there's like 5 things I've complained about. One of the things is nitpicks, Kirishiro. But it's like, you could tell him, right? At this point, you might as well tell him. So they're all trying to figure this out. Um, they're figuring out why people are trying to get attacked. Why people are getting attacked. Um, Kirishiro mentions it said 15 minutes. Hero's like, it said an hour for me. And then Goramon, our natural Sherlock genius, is going, could be how long you guys spent time with Yuto. And Yuto's like, but how come my parents haven't been attacked? You guys don't know much about Yanda race, do you? They never go after the parents because they're the ones that take care of you. If they didn't have you, they wouldn't. Well, I guess if you were born because of them, so they wouldn't have you if they got rid of the parents. Anyway, they go back to the drawing board because they still draw a blank on that for some reason. And so now they're going to take turns watching, and they have Kirishiro by himself outside. Everybody else is in this pretty spacious tent, I have to add. The robot comes up. He's like, oh, what's up? Freaking vines spurt out from the eyes. Wrap this guy up, and our Digimon boss is here. It opens up on inside. Already wrapped up dude's mouth. It goes mouth first and wraps up Yuta. And of course, the other two, get up and they got their cell phone lights. And they're like, hey, we caught you. Stop right there. Thing backflips and runs away. Now, initially, Jellymon did not know what this thing was. And of course, Jellymon once again blames Kirishiro, saying he's stupid. The Digimon that we have come across today, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between and outside of those parameters, is Ajatarmon. Ajatarmon. Let's just look at that. Little jungle shield, little hatchet. Well, it says hatchet, but that's a sickle. That is for sickling. It's Very new Digimon. It only appeared in the Vital Bracelets. I don't remember which one. Probably the first one, but it's a brand new Digimon. And guess what level it is? It's this show's favorite Digimon that they shouldn't be fighting at all. An ultimate level Digimon. Let's talk about this vaccine plant type ultimate. It is a plant Digimon that lives in groups similar to tribes. It builds civilizations deep in the jungle. Generally speaking, they are taciturn and do not speak very much. And when hunting in groups, they contact each other through hand gestures and bring down their prey with excellent coordination. Although a short temper, wow, although a short tempered and has a violent disposition, it has a pure heart with the pride of a hunter. I didn't see that in this one. I saw the violent disposition though. Its special moves are striking the enemy with an all-purpose hatchet that still looks like a sickle. It cuts down even large trees in an instant, called assault hatchet. We do see that move, and restraining them with tentacles growing up from the back of its head, tied up ivy. This could be an alternate evolution for Palmon, couldn't it? When facing opponents that attack from a distance, it counterattacks with shotgun moss, where it shoots the poisonous grass needles that grow from its head like hair to restrict their movements. So that's what the thing it was doing. But and it's so bad. What kills me is this thing has two cool mega forms, Hydramon and Bloom Lordmon. Bloom Lordmon looks amazing. I would love to see a uh, Chaosmon, Omnimon, Omegamon if you're Japanese, uh, style form with Bloom Lordmon and some other cool plant, maybe Rafflesiamon. Just I would love to see that because Bloom. Let me pull a picture up real quick. I gotta show you guys this thing. This thing looks cool. You see how cool that looks like? Look at that. It's cool a thing. Okay, so they're running. Hero thinks, well, you know what? I can put us in the desert, and at least what's the guy called? Yuto won't be in any danger. But Jellymon's like, don't do that because we don't even know we'll end up losing Kirishiro. So obviously she still cares about her darling, right? Gamamon can smell Kyo, and off they go. They follow him. Now we have both Kyo and Yuto both tied up, and there's all these cameras on the ground. And he's like, "What did I ever do to you? Why are you doing this?" And we see all these pictures of Yuta in the with the hologram eyes and all this other stuff. And he's like, when I first came to this world, no one, no human spoke to me. They could even see me. We've seen this before. We have seen this before. And he goes, Yuta was the first person to ever talk to me. And we have the pictures and some voice clips of Yuta speaking to Atarajaman. Pardon me. And soon, it doesn't take that long. Because again, Kirishiro is technically supposed to be the genius of this group, even though all three of them are super smart. He goes, wait a minute. All these are taken from the camera angle that would be GW1. And he uncovers it. And the stupid thing learned about love is like there's a thing in this world called love. And you remember what Yuta said? Because Yuta was talking to a plant talking about, don't worry, it'll all go well. Being positive. And I like that. The kid's positive. That's great. Of course, this Digimon being a menace. I am probably the J. Jonah Jameson of Digimon Ghost Game because I keep saying every time Digimon are a menace. Except for last episode, that was a human thing. But Digimon are a menace. Mm, mm. Threat or menace? How about both? So, Kirishiro tries to explain to it that that's not love because it one night, the same night after he was saying to a plant it'll go well and it thought he was talking to it, it's like slamming a hatchet down, it's breaking stuff. I could not understand this part, but Kirishiro was like, yeah, that's not love. And apparently this thing's like, yeah, so my plan, you know in order for my love to be complete, because obviously I love you, Yuta, you got to turn into a Tajamon. What? Okay. And so part of this plan involves turning people into a Tajimon and experimenting. And it said every time it failed, it failed those other three times, but every time it failed, I just heard you just saying, "Don't worry, it'll go well." And this is where dude Kirishio's like, "That's what GW means. That's what the go well means." Oh my god. Oh my god, no. And so I was like, yeah, I got one more experiment. I'm experiment on this guy right here. And okay, why would you? Okay. So Kirishio was like, but there are other people who talk to Yuta much longer than I have. Oh, you're talking about his caretakers. I would never do that. So this is the part where I'm going, why are they kissing that line about Yandere, but they don't go full in? They just go, this thing doesn't understand love and it believes it loves Yuta. I can believe that it has some type of love for it, right? He takes care of it. He always speaks to it. That's how it's like, well, you talk to me, so, we're friends. I got love for you, right? I got love for you. But no, it's talking about a romantic kind of love. And this is literally yonder a monster thing. But they don't go full into it to be like, and no, and what I mean go full into it, it's attacking people that talk to him. Tajima never said no one can have him but me. His parents are fine because they take care of him, but no one can have him but me. And this is a she. This is Digimon's a she. But no one can have him but me, and we never, they never commit to that. They never actually say that. That is such a shortcoming. And it's just, I get that it's implied, but in order for the plot to make sense, you need to go, no, no one can have him but me. And that never happened. I don't understand. But regardless, it grabs Kirishiro, puts the drop at like 15 minutes. It still says 15 minutes for whatever reason. Puts the drop on him. Dude is in pain. Of course, everybody gets there, but and not only they think he's wrapped up in vines. No, three parts of his body are a Tajamon. Two legs and an arm. So he's still in pain. He's writhing, and pardon me, I'm still thinking to myself, there's no way that they're going to use talk no jutsu, right? They're not going to talk their way out of this, right? There's no way we're going to be like, it's okay, we understood it was a mistake. Please don't. Something a little bit similar happens, but not this. So it's time to Digivolve. Battle Gamamon, Simba, and Goramon. The sword shot does nothing because this thing comes deflected. The jet kicks is able to defend it, but it has long limbs. It fights back and is able to deflect all these things. And even the sword, what was it? It's like a sword tackle that he has. Doesn't do much. And Ruli's like, yeah, it has way too many limbs. We can't do this by ourselves. So Jellymon goes in and she's trying to do whatever she can. Doesn't really help. Um, Trying to fight it in its regular form. Just okay. Meanwhile, Hero looks down, sees the hologram of Yuta, grabs it, and distracts the Tajimon by getting it to play that thing. But don't worry, GW, it'll go well. And it's fully distracted to the point where uh, Jellymon is able to get out of the way. Samba, and Goramon does a really cool axe kick. I'm giving her credit on this. She goes to Kirishima and is like, all right, let's see how tough you are, and shocks the pain out of him, which I can see that. I have no nitpicks about that, right? It's just to snap him out of it so we can get her Digivolve, which she turns into Tesla Jellymon. So now that all three are at their highest, they all can do attacks. So the sword shot, block. The wind Kamehameha thing, block. And she comes in with her electric Psycho Crusher. They beat this thing up and knock it into the wall. They free Yuta. And they're like, you alright, dude? You good? And he's like, yeah, I'm a big alright. And this thing walks to him and says, where am I at here? You know, come on. Takes another one of those pins out of the back of his head and like, hey, we can be together. I'm pretty. If I give you three doses of this, you'll turn into a Tajimon. And he goes, I can't be an Atajamon like you. He's like, you're GW1. What was wrong with everything went well before? What's wrong with what we had? And he goes, I don't like that form anymore. I need to be something else. Now everybody's looking sad and like, oh, oh. Meanwhile, I'm watching it's like, I don't care. Either the thing says sorry or it's gotta go, and it's still gotta go because it's literally been a menace. So this thing goes, okay, that's fine. Takes out a different needle and stabs itself. Everybody's like, what are you doing? Props to Ruli because she stood between it and Yuta. She just flat out was like, nah, you ain't getting to him. So props to her. Anyway, so its body parts start slopping off. It's like, I don't need any of this anymore. It throws its weapon away, throws the shield it has. Its body starts to kind of shift into a humanoid like form. The mask comes off and you see yellow eyes, but we see like a more humanoid face, right? And it's like, see, Yuta, I can become human, but its green parts have become dead and it's starting to fall apart even more. It's like, oh no, it didn't go well, which is almost a funnier line than Mr. Stark, I don't feel well. Because I don't feel bad for this thing. And, you know, all of his body started to disintegrate. And Yuta tries to reach out for it, but pew, turns into pixels. I don't feel bad for it, and neither should you. I'm just saying. I felt worse for Bokomon because Bokomon was actually cool and actually didn't hurt anybody. I actually would feel bad for Clockmon now because Clockmon got a bit of a mini redemption and had to get his butt kicked. I don't feel bad for this thing at all because it had Yandere love. I don't like Yandere characters. I can deal with Minata and Master Roshi like characters before I can deal with a Yandere character. Sheesh. Anywho, so Goromon does his little poem. Is love a flower or not? Will it blossom fully or tragically fail? Tragically fall, unable to choose its own path. And this dude shares some flowers with Gammon to get him to smell. Then looks at that he looks at that robot again, and really wonders if he's okay. And Goromon says we should all look after him. I wrote an insult to the guy in there, but Hero's like, yeah, you're right. Meanwhile, we go back to the dorms. Jellymon is trying to stab a needle into Kirishiro because Monemon came up with an antidote to turn everybody back into humans. Which that's how we leave off on that comedic note. Which it's kind of cool that Mummymon is now in this background going like, yeah, if Digimon do any weird body horror things to you guys, I'll take care of it. If Digimon get mind controlled or sick, I got you. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, they have another supply, and I like this. You got a background character that can help you out. Next episode, it's gonna be a special episode with the ghost narrator. His name is Naota Takinaka. I don't really care about that, but I probably won't watch it because it probably seems like a recap show. Really great set though. So, if you had friends that didn't like gardening, that's okay. Like I have friends that aren't into the same things I'm into. Pretty sure like I'm only one of maybe two friends that actually like Digimon. And I'm not including the people who I met through some of the various groups. I'm just talking about like people who I know. It's okay. Your friends don't have to be into it. But at the same time, did you even make the effort? Because Kirishiro just instantly go, huh, I might try this thing. Since you said you don't have a lot of friends into it, I'll try it out, see how I like it. Doesn't feel like you tried, kid. Two, he knows about Digimon now. He should have known about Digimon since the beginning. This episode could have been so much, should have been different. And we definitely need some other characters to have Digimon. But I guess if you want them to be more autonomous, that's fine. But boy, oh boy, I don't know. It's I accept that this is different, but this is leagues worse than last week's episode. Like my heart was saying, my heart was saying two. My mind was going, it's pretty average for what they do. But I'm kind of want to drop off a point because you didn't fully commit to the Yandere thing. You didn't go, no one can have him but me. You just said no. I'm gonna get the people that talk to him. Okay. Also, if Hero's dad is the one that's sending Digimon into the human world, I hope someone punches him really hard in the nethers. Because you are literally making things horrible. Well, I just want people in Digimon to interact. You have ruined lives on both sides. There have been people who have died, and there have been Digimon who have had to get the axe because they have given people the axe. Bro. Bro. With all that being said, I will give this episode a kind 3 out of 5. I say kind just because I'm being kind. I don't feel like being mean. I give it a 3 out of 5. At the most, at the lowest, it's a 2. At the most, it's a 3. So, let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm being too hard on this show, or like me, I see the like me, you see the potential in it, but they keep like I have no problem with the monster of the week thing. That's kind of what all the other Digimon shows did, right? But they had progression with people's attitudes and stop giving them ultimate level Digimon because they are not winning battles. They are holding things off, and then the thing kind of solves itself. I hope whatever season comes after this is immensely different. So, as always, please don't forget to leave a comment. I do want to hear from you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and as well hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. As always, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And I will most definitely see you guys next time.